Hey y'all, I'm back. It's me, Shanice. Anyways, thank you if you watched my video about me, all of your comments, your support, your love. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I've gotten a bunch of questions and I'm just going to start this off and get straight to it. What was it like being on reality TV? Um, hmm. Y'all want me to spill the tea? No, sir. There's no tea to spill. My experience on reality TV, everyone's different, obviously. But just from my experience being on reality TV, it started about 9 years ago and I didn't know what to expect. I think the hardest part about being on TV is the social media aspect of it all because you don't get any training for that. Like I'm on reality TV, I'm on that because I'm being me. That doesn't involve training or anything, but like after the response, the support, the negative comments, all of those things, it's the social media aspect that you can't account for because everybody's going to have their own opinion. People don't know you, but they think they know you based off of the show. So I think that's a hard part about being on reality TV is that little bit of part of it. And also too, I would say there was some scary parts about that because for me, everybody knew me. I married my husband on TV. I got pregnant, and all of that great stuff. And I'm still like a regular working person. So because with the show, let me just explain the concept. You marry a stranger, you stay together for 8 weeks, and you decide if you want to be together or not. Based off of the show, because if you choose if you're going to stay together or not, people don't know until the last episode. So everything is aired. You have people like coming after Jeff D and trying to get him fired from his job and all of these things. And you can't do anything because people don't know if you're together or not. So that's hard, right? Because now you have to keep it a secret. Then for me, coming back and doing the spinoff, I was pregnant. People didn't know. I got pregnant so quickly, people didn't know at all. And even doing the final decision, I think by the time it came out, I found out I was pregnant like 2 months later. So all of this had to be like kept a secret. And I'm out and about. And then when it was finally announced and people started seeing me, I had some people would come up. A woman came up to me and just rubbed my belly. And it was very weird. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to feel. And it was very, very strange. That was a out of body experience because I'm a nice person. Of course, you see me on TV, you're a fan, you want to say hi. I'm going to be nice as much as I can, but I feel a little violated, a little uncomfortable. And it could have been a moment of excitement because I know what it's like to see somebody that you are, a fan of, and, just things happen. So I don't know. There is no excuse, but it was an uncomfortable situation. Then I had a time where he was living somewhere else and I was living somewhere else before, the show. Like we all had our individual houses, but once the show was over, you had to move and we had to find our own place. And I think I moved back into his place. I did move into his place. And his mailbox was his name was on the mailbox. Somebody rung our doorbell and said, "Oh my God, I knew it was you. I can recognize your voice." That was scary. I'm home alone, pregnant, and this happened. So I think that was a scary part for me. Um, and I feel like that was like the downside of the experience of being on reality TV that you can't account for. Obviously, being marrying a stranger, you go on the show with expectations you're going to marry and things are going to work out and all this other stuff. But the one thing you can't count for is human behavior. I don't understand my husband's response to what I'm doing, and he's not going to understand. Like that part you couldn't account for, but I'm happy that, it all worked out. There were things that happened behind scenes that we were trying to figure out. And I think the one thing we did do when we clicked from the beginning is that we've always talked on and off camera. Like everything you seen was me being my true self, him being his true self, and we laid it out. We put it all out there. The good, the bad, the ugly, the happy and sad. But yes, there were moments that we had that we would just talk about different things or different scenarios, or after the cameras left, like how we've always talked and we've always communicated, and that part I can appreciate about the marriage, and still not understanding and still being strangers and still not knowing each other, but communicating and then having that level of respect and careness and being kind to each other. I think that was a great part that happened and it played out in the relationship. So as much as people were trying to bash him and get him fired, or they talk about me and say, "Oh, I don't understand how she can be with someone like that." It's I got the chance to know him, off screen. I know where his heart is. I know his places. You guys have to understand it's a business. At the end of the day, everybody wants to get paid. Everybody needs to get paid. That's how we keep the machine moving. So they have to tell our story in a sense that it's only a short amount of time. They want to tell the complete story. And whether the outcome is good or bad, it needs to be told and sold and given and presented in a package all at once. And people only go off of what they see. That's it. They think, I don't know. I don't know if they think that we're like real people. We live like a real life and like real shit happens, but they only know what they see on TV. And I'm kind of like in between. I'm like, oh, okay, well, no big deal. They don't get it. They don't understand it is what it is. And then I'm like, okay, really? Like, really? Like, we are human. Like, I get torn in between that, but I don't